water bottles, beer bottles,
Better get out of here.
diapers, pee bottles, lighters, cigarettes, stuffed animals, oh, and rocks.
Taking out the garbage. Just a little dusty today, that's all.
All right, man, here's how I tell if the world's going crazy. My stethoscope is right here. I'm riding, and I can tell by traffic, everything else, how weird it's getting. Been out riding for a long time, a lot of years, on the roads, highways, everywhere, and I'm gauging the planet's anger on things that are flying out of people's windows, and sometimes at me. There's all sorts of stuff thrown at me. This year, I'm going to tell you, this was the biggest year for things getting thrown out windows, thrown at me, and it's not just me. It is something else going on. I'm going to tell you how I handled the last one. Yesterday was weird. All it did yesterday was remind me of how bad it's getting, and I can tell just by the way people are acting, driving especially, pushing me off the road, pulling in front of me, honking at me. People never used to honk at me from behind. Once in a while you get some jerk that honks, and it scares the shit out of you, and it can make you wreck. So if they're a nice person and they want to honk and say hi, they do it after they pass you, and they'll honk and wave. But I've had people honking more this year, yelling out their windows, and listen, this is my pulse. This is the pulse of the planet, right? Or the pulse of things going on around me and around here, and especially where I ride. I can tell. That's how I gauge the anger or the happiness. I used to get a lot of people pull over, and they would hand me a soda or ask me, hey, how's your trip going? I've had so many good things happen on bike trips. And it used to just always be good things and once in a while a little kind of a bad thing. But now I'm seeing more bad things than good things. No one ever stops and rarely, commends you on your work, what you're doing, or just wants to talk and ask questions. It's less. And now it's more, paranoia, yelling, and things like that. So these guys, about 2 months ago, were on the side of the road, and I was riding by, and it was one of those holidays. I think it was the 4th of July. And these guys were like tossing rocks out in the street ahead of where I was riding. They weren't throwing them at me. They were tossing them in the road, and they're standing by their SUV, and some young guys. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to not even look at them and just go right around the rocks. And they were kind of throwing them on the shoulder so they'd be in my way. And so I kept going, and I'm like, okay, they're gone. And they passed me a little bit later, and there they are again on the side of the road. And they're kind of waiting for me, it looks like. And they're not throwing anything, but as soon as I get up there again, guy throws a big rock right out in the road, and it shatters and just makes little rocks all over. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I almost said something, but I just kind of went like that. And they're like, they're kind of egging me on. So I kept going, and then I broke over a hill, and I'm thinking to myself, these guys are probably drinking. I had that, it had that feel. It was the 4th of July. These guys are probably just drinking, pulling over. Hey, let's mess with this guy. So before it was going to get any worse, what I did was I got over the horizon and looked back and to see if they were coming, and they were not coming. And I looked for a spot. If you're a cyclist and this is something like this is ever happening to you, someone's following you, whatever, and you're out of their view and you see a spot to bail off the road where they can't pull over. That's the key. Bail off where another car can't pull over. Maybe just no shoulder. They don't want to pull over there and block it's dangerous. Also, and try not to leave tracks. The best you can. Bail off into the woods, bail out if there are woods, and sit there a while. That's what I did. I got off the road, and a little bit later, I waited, and they went by. I saw them cruising by. Now, in this case, it was late enough in the day, and I was in this spot, and I've been riding all day, and this is actually kind of a cool spot.
So, just up behind those rocks, I might set up my tent.
I bailed right off where no one can pull over. Hey, future reference, cyclist, always try to bail off if you're going to stealth camp where there's just no shoulder. And if there's a shoulder where people can pull out, people will pull out there and sleep all night, or they'll go into the woods and go to the bathroom. And you'll go into the woods and find everything they left. Go to places where no one can pull over if you can. I sat there for a little bit and I just said, I'm going to set up camp right here. And I camped there all night. And of course, the next day, those guys are probably somewhere hungover in bed, or whatever, who knows where they are, and doing their thing, and I'm safe now and I can keep riding. This kind of situation has happened to me more in the last couple years, where I felt uncomfortable and just bailed into the woods or into the sagebrush. And this is a lot, has to do with cycling. That's a cycling aspect. And but I wanted to bring this to your attention, how I'm gauging the anger and happiness of what's going on lately through being on the road, the actions of drivers and things like that, and people. That's what it is for me out here. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to take a day off from riding and then get back on the road tomorrow. Thanks, man.